of the year when students like you have either finished with your Year 12 exams or are just getting ready to finish with the college exams. But one question has been the most popular in the past 2 weeks. How do I ensure a successful admission to my next level of study, especially at a Canadian university? Now, we at Canam have been promoting Canadian education since 28 plus years with millions of man-hours of experience in this field. Anurag Sandhu, our CEO, is a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, NRCIC, and so licensed by the Canadian government to advise you about visas. And with our 3 decades of strong university partnerships and relationships across Canada, we are the experts for studying in Canada. Today, we have with us for our Ed Talks the awesome Shannon Bracken, Director of Admissions and Recruitment at Ontario Tech University, to give you this advice. Over to her. Hi Shannon, welcome to our Ed Talks.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Shannon, so tell us something about the beautiful city of Oshawa. It's located in the province of Ontario on the shores of Lake Ontario. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so Oshawa is in the Greater Toronto area. It's a smaller city, about 45 minutes from the downtown city center. So we're kind of like a suburb residential part of Toronto, which is really nice because you kind of get the best of both worlds. So you're kind of in a smaller community, it's a little bit quieter, but you're only 45 minutes to one of the most multicultural city in the world. And so it's a really vibrant place to be able to live.
Yeah, okay. So is Oshawa a very student-friendly city and lots of support in terms of culture, entertainment, co-ops, food,
yes,
and jobs, housing, and all of that?
All of the important things. It is a very student-friendly city. So the city of Oshawa is about 200,000 people live in the city. But there are 3 post-secondary institutions in the city. So Ontario Tech University, Durham College, and Trent University all have campuses in the city of Oshawa. So there's a lot of students that come in for the school year, which is really exciting. Oshawa is the fastest growing city in Canada, so it's a really great place to be right now. There's a lot going on, and there's great food. You can find food from many cultures in the city. We're very much a foodie kind of place. But there's also just, because it's the fastest growing city in Canada, a lot of employers are coming to set up specifically in Oshawa and the surrounding region. And you can do all kinds of fun things, like you can go hiking or skiing, 5-10 minutes away from campus, but then you can also go to the shopping center, which is a large mall with a lot of international brands, or you can go to the movie theater. So there's just kind of, it's a great place for students because you get a little bit of everything.
Yeah, great. Employment is always a matter of concern for students. So people say it's very tough to get jobs. So what does the City Council of Oshawa do to support international students in terms of part-time jobs during this study as well as post-study jobs?
Yeah, the city in general and the community is really supportive of all students, international students and Canadian students. We have hundreds of employers come to campus every year to recruit and hire students, but we also do this right from the beginning of your first year of school. So we do a part-time job fair. So one of the things that often international students are looking to do when they arrive in Canada is to have a part-time job where they can support some of their expenses, but also just to get really valuable Canadian work experience alongside their studies. And so the part-time job fair, employers come from across the city onto campus, and these are employers that are looking specifically for students to work part-time jobs. And so they are employers that are actively hiring and seeking these candidates. And so it's just an initiative that is collaborative with employers in the city and the university to be able to support students in that journey.
All right, and that's something very interesting, hearing about part-time job fairs, right? Okay, and what about post-study jobs? That's also the same manner?
Yeah, so we have a really high graduate employment rate. A lot of that is because of the nature of our program. So Ontario Tech is heavily a STEM university. And so a lot of our programs are very in demand by employers. Our standard career fair that we have every February, because hundreds of these employers come to campus, but a lot of our programs have built-in co-ops and internships into them. So programs like engineering and science and business, you can actually do a full co-op program where you're going to do multiple paid work terms as part of your study. And it's very common that co-op employers will actually provide students with a future employment letter because they're these employers have already trained students and they've invested into them and they've gotten to see how they work. And it's really one of the benefits of studying a co-op program is you get to really network and build your contacts and be able to showcase that for future employment. But our Career Center is really going to be helpful for that, and everything from mock interviews to creating a Canadian style resume. The university is very connected to industry. It's one of our key kind of pillars. And we're only successful if students find jobs afterwards, and so we're really invested in that return for students.
Right. I think that's something amazing about Canadian education. Cooperative education being part of the study is really great, and I see Ontario Tech doing a great job on that. So what are the fun things now that students can do at Oshawa?
I kind of teased some of that earlier, but we have kind of the best of both worlds in that you can get involved in the nature and sort of get outside a lot. There's a lot of trails. We have one of the largest trail systems in Canada in our backyard. We actually have trails on campus, which is really exciting. You can go, if you've never been skiing or snowboarding, there's several ski hills within 10-15 minutes of campus. But then if you go into downtown Oshawa, that's where you get more of the vibrant restaurants and nightlife, and it's kind of where you can go and hang out with friends. So you can kind of experience a little bit of everything. You can get on the train and head to Toronto for the day if you want. You can go see a concert or an NBA game. So it's kind of like unlimited how much fun you want to have. You can have. And then when you're on campus, we have hundreds of student clubs, and so you can get involved in activities outside of your classes, but on campus. So maybe you're involved in student government, or maybe you want to join a student club based on a culture or a religion, or maybe an activity. So maybe you want to join, a Pokemon club. The world is really your oyster when it comes to your activities outside of classes.
True.
I always say to students, you're going to be more successful if you are doing something that you're interested in, rather than what you think you're supposed to be doing. So take the time to really ask those questions. Our universities and colleges in Canada have hundreds and thousands of different types of programs. So take a look at those lists, talk to each of the institutions, and tell them what you're interested in. They can sometimes help guide you appropriately.
Thank you so much, Shannon, and to students, do follow her advice and do visit us at our Canadian Universities and Colleges Admissions Workshop this April, and also follow us on our socials for more updates on Ed Talks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and we are really happy to work with Canam and support students working with Canam.
Thank you.